Tony. 15 seconds.
Whoa, how's it going? It looks like I'm blurred out right now, but I'm going to get that fixed. Do some magic for you. How's it going, Raider Nation? How's it going, YouTube? So we got to be stoked now, right? We have a schedule out. So we'll get into that soon. Do some way too early schedule predictions. And I'm down. I mean, why not? We do too early draft grades, too early player predictions, too early coach predictions. We do everything too early in sports news because we're addicted, you know? So why don't we just go ahead and do that anyways, too? Let me know how I'm sounding. Am I sounding okay? How's my audio doing? Just going to double check before we get some more people coming in here. Still have the bed head. I do got to wake up a little more, get the hair in check, but it's early for me on the West Coast, 12:30 California time. Hopefully there's some other Californians here. But we'll get into some things soon. We all know opening night against the Ravens, that's what's going to happen. And I have a personal problem with how all these games are shaken out. Pretty much with the whole ticketing system of Las Vegas in general, I'm a little disappointed in the Raiders, to be quite honest. I mean, I'm not a man of money. I would like to be a man of money, but some of these things are just out of control. By the way, like this video if you haven't. Let's try to get pushed up in the algorithm of YouTube. But let me get to something for you. One sec right here. Not quite the schedule. We'll get into that and we'll do our schedule prediction. But these fucking prices, man. What is this shit? So Mike Rice, Vivid Seats, you could go NFL Ticket Exchange. You could do several different avenues to, try to get a Raiders ticket. And I mean, Bucks and Patriots, obviously that's going to be a game that's watched by millions of people. Belichick versus Brady, finally getting his comeback. A chance for a comeback against him. And other than that, it's all Raiders. It's all Raiders, just super expensive bullshit. And I mean, I personally think that's kind of messed up. I mean, you were part of the Oakland Coliseum. You had a lot of tickets that are super affordable. I've went to a few games where it was like $70, $60, tons of things like that. And now we're in a situation where you have to spend almost $1,000 to go to a Raiders game. So I hope whoever is going to pay for these tickets, I hope you have a great time. I'm personally going to wait till the price goes down a little bit. I don't think it's worth it for me. I don't think it's worth it for a lot of people. But if you have the cash, spend it, have a good time. Just for me, I don't want to go through a financial hardship to watch live football. I'll be watching the game at the bar or something. So that'll work out for me. Now we can start getting into the schedule. Way too early prediction. I'm going to make it right here. Baltimore Ravens versus the Raiders. So first of all, I guess I would say most people think that the Ravens are going to win, right? Automatically. That's how it goes. They've been a more successful team than the Raiders in recent time. They've been to the playoffs consistently. They've had a strong defense. Yes, they've lost some characters. They've lost some people like Yannick Ngakoue, Matthew Judon, people who've been part of their rotation over the past few years. However, Harbaugh has always had a solid defense, so they're going to be fine. So it really comes down to which offense is going to score the most amount of points. Now, I know that sounds cheesy, but based on a few people that they have lost last year, they've continued to age, and then the Raiders getting a little better on defense. I think this is going to be a shootout game, Monday Night Football. I think that's why it's geared that way. Do I think the Raiders match up well against Lamar Jackson? Well, as far as linebackers and safeties are concerned, I would say, yeah, the Raiders didn't face too many dual threat QBs last year. Now, I'm not talking about a dual threat QB like Mahomes or something, or Josh Allen. I'm talking about someone who actually does designed run plays fairly often. And the person who the Raiders played last year is similar to that is Cam Newton. And they did quite well against Cam Newton for the most part till towards the end of the game. Burkhead was able to run over the defense, but Abram was on him, and you could see the type of safeties we have. They're hard-hitting safeties. QBs who are typically dual threats are a little hesitant to keep running the ball like that because you're going to get hit. You're going to get hit, and you're going to get hit by people who aren't too scared of getting fined, which will make someone reluctant to do that. Now, do I think the Raiders are going to win this game? I think it's close, right? I think it could go either way. If I was going to gamble today, just for the sake of this prediction, I will give it an L. However, I do think the Raiders have a straight up good chance in this game because I think Derek Carr could outscore Lamar. And I know a lot of people are going to disagree with me on this, but I really do think Lamar is one of the most overrated QBs in the NFL. So I know people are probably already disagreeing with that, but at the end of the day, if you're going to be a QB, you got to throw the ball. And that's something that he struggles to do. He struggles to throw the ball really well. I don't think his dual threat Lamar running shtick will last long in this game because I think people like Abram, people like Carl Joseph, I mean, even some of the new safeties are not scared to rock Lamar. And I'm going to be honest, it seems like a lot of players like Lamar in the NFL. And I've seen several times where they go a little easy on him, to be quite frank. So I think it's totally possible that they win this game. But I'm just going to give it an L for the sake of this experiment. Now, as far as the Denver Broncos are concerned, I have no faith in the Denver Broncos unless they get Aaron Rodgers. I don't think there's any chance in hell that they win this game. So I do have a fuck up in this chart here, but we will fix this right now. Yeah, Denver Broncos, they don't have a shot again. If they get Aaron Rodgers, they're going to have to reconsider this game. But as of right now, I feel pretty comfortable just saying no, they're going to straight up lose this game. So let me grab this. Ooh, so we get a W there. Now against the Bengals, don't be afraid. Dick Vitale. I like this comment. Don't be afraid of Lamar. Is that what we're not afraid of? I mean, I'm not afraid of Lamar. I think Lamar is completely overrated. I'm afraid of our own defense, actually. I don't know if they're going to be able to handle the situation. I do think they'll lay some hits on him, like I was saying, make him a little more hesitant. But for now, I think I'm going to play it safe and say that they're going to lose the opener. But we have fans, though, too. And here's another thing to think about. Derek Carr had a lot of success audibling. That's not really going to happen this year because you have so many fans there. You're not really going to be able to hear and make these play call adjustments. So he might have some trouble too. So you got to think about that. Although against the Ravens, Willie Snead is going to prove to be a very valuable player. Hopefully Willie Snead, playing there for the last couple of years can give us some valuable intel and will be able to tell us, how they're running their offense, how they even run their defense, just characteristics about these players. So Willie Snead, week 1, going to be very valuable for the Raiders. And I think it will give us a shot. Let's just play it safe though. Now, against the Bengals, I actually think the Bengals have made some great draft picks, and I actually think Joe Burrow did fantastic last year. He went toe-to-toe with several teams. There's that one game he threw the ball like 50 times. However, he is still coming off an injury. And, I think it would be a little silly to say he's 100% in week 1. So, I mean, I'm going to give us a win because I think he's not going to be 100% in week 1. I think it'd be a little optimistic on the Bengals side to think that. Now, Dick Vitale is saying something that I think is worth mentioning, that the Ravens lost a bunch of guys on both sides of the ball. However, we don't have a good defense. And when you look at us offensively, I think it's going to be an offensive game, right? They did lose a lot of guys, especially on defense. But receiving wise, Rashad Bateman looks great. and Marquise Brown. Now, if you're the Raiders, would you take Marquise Brown and Rashad Bateman over Edwards and Ruggs? As of right now, I would say yes. However, I would say that the ceiling of Ruggs and Edwards is higher than Rashad Bateman and Marquise Brown. But right now, they have a better receiving core. I think we have a better overall offense, right? But you can't discount Lamar's improvisation. So I'm hoping we're able to shake Lamar early on in the game, maybe with some hits. Maybe Rashad Bateman's not as great as we think coming out of college, but you got to worry about that. And that is true. They have lost Orlando Brown. Hopefully, Unique Ngakoue, having some experience with that team too, could provide intel along with Willie Snead. Now, I'm also going to go ahead and give us a dub over Denver. Unless they get Aaron Rodgers, man, I'm giving us a dub here. Their defense too, like they've always been known as the defensive team and stuff like that. It's been super overrated. I mean, it hasn't performed well. And Derek Carr, man, over the past few years has really carved up Denver. I mean, he's really worked Denver. And Denver, yes, they've had a shitty offense over the past few years, but they've had that great defense, for the past few years. I know that Von Miller's not always healthy, but Derek Carr's had his way with Denver for the better part of his career, right? So even if they do get Aaron Rodgers, I would still say, hey, Derek Carr can move the ball in this team, so it's going to be a shootout. But as of right now, today, let's give us some dubs here. Now I'm going to go to a few comments while I'm doing these schedule predictions, so keep chiming in with me. And I was just talking about this earlier. If you didn't get a chance to come, these expensive tickets, man. Fuck that, man. It is too expensive. Let me know what you think. Do you think that these tickets are too damn expensive? I think so, man. I can't deal with these prices. I don't want to go into debt going to a Raiders game. So are the Raiders tickets too damn expensive? Let me know what you think. Share your comments and thoughts here in the chat. Let's go back to this schedule prediction. We're going to look at the Chargers. Now, I went out of order on accident. This is really a weird schedule. So we got to get rid of this top thing. So week 2 is actually going to be against the Steelers. Now, I will give us a W against the Steelers. I will do that right away. I think Ben Roethlisberger's old. I think he's getting fatter every year. I don't think Big Ben's getting more athletic. I don't think he's getting better as a QB. I think Juju Smith-Schuster, the fact that he was only able to re-sign with the Steelers for $5 million, I don't think that's a good thing. I don't think it's he's taking a team-friendly deal. That shows that a lot of other people didn't want him. A lot of other GMs didn't want him. Trust me, if the money was there, he would go with another team. And you saw Aguilar get paid way more than Smith-Schuster. So how good is Smith-Schuster? Is he really worth it? I mean, he has shined. He's really good with the toe drag. We saw us play the Steelers in 2018. It was a really fun game. We came out with the W. We beat him with Derek Carrier. So I think we're going to beat him again right there. Now, I'm going to go to some comments too, because I got some people passionate. Matt Judon will hurt Unique too. Yeah, no Matt, no Unique for the Ravens. What's up, Wi-Fi? What's up, James Ramos? How you guys doing? And then we got Nick. Bateman hasn't played down the NFL. That's true. But neither has Trayvon Merrick. So if you're going to give predictions based on certain players and say, hey, our defense is going to be better because we have Diablo, we have Merrick, we have, Gillespie. Well, they haven't played it down in the NFL either. So are we going to say that our defense is still shitty even after the draft? No. So let's give the Ravens credit with their offense, drafting a receiver pretty high up there. Okay. So week 3 against Miami, I think we get our revenge. They don't have Fitzpatrick. Look, even though our defense shit the bed against Miami, played well a decent amount of the game against Tua. Okay, we could assume Tua gets marginally better, but I'm only afraid of the Dolphins when they have a passer like Fitzpatrick, right? So I'm not afraid of them with Tua, and I think we get our revenge and win that game. San Diego is getting a lot better. To be honest, I do think we go 1-for-1 with San Diego. I hope we don't, or Los Angeles, right? But there's fans this time. There wasn't fans last year, and I think that makes a huge difference for us. I think that turns these LA games into home games, And why not give us a W at nighttime in LA? You know what? I think I'll be at that game too. So I'm going to give us a dub right there against the Chargers in LA. And so week 5 against the Bears, look, we beat the Bears. Okay, the only reason why we need to be afraid of the Bears in week 5 is because now you got freaking Justin Fields. And look, in my opinion, I thought Justin Fields was great. I thought he carved up Clemson. I thought he was dope. Yes, you could say he played less games in college, which is why he had a good year his last year. Sorry, I have to sneeze, but he's going to make this team better. They're going to be better than when they had Foles and Trubisky. And when we beat the Bears in 2019, yes, we ran all over them, and I think we'll run all over them again. I think we will have our way with this defense. I think this defense has gotten worse, not better, but I think their offense has gotten better. And look, we barely hung on and beat them when they had Chase Daniel. So hopefully our defense could get better. This could be an L, but it is at home. It is at home. And I think, man, if these tickets are this expensive, that means hella people want to go. And I know the Bears are one of the teams where it's the most expensive prices. So hopefully a lot of fans from Chicago aren't coming to Vegas around that time. But we're beating the Bears, man. I think we have a good offensive line. I think Incognito will have his way with people. I think we'll run the ball like we did last year. And I think Derek has just gotten better with more weapons. So I'm going to give us a W there. So far, what I have is we're entering week 6, and we're 4-1. We're 4-1 entering week 6. We're playing Denver. We're playing Drew Lock. Hopefully, we're not playing Rodgers. Or even if we're playing Teddy B, I think Teddy B is better than Lock. I would take him over Lock if I was the Broncos. But hopefully, we won't have to worry about that. Let's give ourselves a dubs over Broncos. I just talked about that earlier. Now, the Eagles are an interesting case. I know they had Jalen Hurts last year, and I don't know. We're beating the Bears. We got Ricky Seven. We're beating the Bears from his opinion, and I hope so too. We got Joe Flacco and Jalen Hurts that we have to worry about. Now, Jalen Hurts was impressive, man. He was better than what we figured. He gave him a shot to win in a lot of games. Do I think I know they're better on the receiving end, but they're still a young football team. And look, even though the Raiders don't get a lot of credit in the media, they're a veteran, experienced team now. You know, this isn't the same team from 2019. This is our 3rd year. A lot of our young guys are veterans. Renfro is a veteran. Farrell's a veteran. Crosby's a veteran. John Simpson's a veteran now. And we just got word he might even start at right guard. So, you know, I think this is a tough matchup for the Eagles. So I'm going to go ahead and give us a dub against the Eagles too. And I know so far this is probably the most optimistic so far, but I gave us the L week 1. So you got to give me that. So right now we're 5-1 entering our bye week. Now here's we could lose any of these games, right? When you really think about it, we could lose so many. And yeah, like, but the games that I think that are a little like on the nose where we could go either way is the first 3 games. Like we could lose against the Steelers and we could lose against the Dolphins. Now and we could lose against the Chargers, to be quite honest, but it's a new coaching staff. So I think it's going to be shaky, and I'm not on the Herbert hype train at all. So, you know, we could be looking at 3, like, you know, 4-3 right here. But right now I got us at like 6-1. Now I know some people probably think, oh, this is pretty funny. When's the last time we won 6 in a row? Right. I mean, when's the last time we made the playoffs too? I think if we do make the playoffs, we will have to do something like win 6 in a row. And when you look at this compared to our first 4 games last year, our first 4 games last year were way harder. We played the Saints. We're playing the Bills, which I think the Bills are better than all of these teams here that we've played so far and where I'm at. The Bills are better than all 6 of these teams, in my opinion. And we played the Patriots. And the Patriots, yes, they weren't as hot of an offense last year, but you still got a Hall of Fame coach. And Cam had an unpredictable offense. We didn't really know the scheme and how it was going to shake out with Josh McDaniels. So there was more question marks there. So and then we're playing the Chiefs, right? So that's a tougher schedule than we have here. This is an easier schedule. You got Miami with Tua. You have a declining Steelers. You have a new coach in Los Angeles. You have a Ravens team that has a broken O-line. Dick Vitale's bringing this up, and this is true. They lost their center, lost a guard and tackle, but at the end of the day, Monday Night Football, Harbaugh's also, I think, a Hall of Fame coach. He gets his team ready. Really good defensive coaching. Raiders new defensive coaching staff, new players coming in. It's still Lamar Jackson. Can this defense handle Lamar week 1? Now, can this defense handle Lamar week 5? Yes, I think they could. But week 1, I'd be a little skeptical. So we're entering the bye week. We're going against the Giants. Now, the Giants, I think, are a scary team. The Raiders have been trapped in the past. There have been trap games on them that do bite them in the butt, to be honest. And I mean, I'm scared of the Giants if I'm a lot of teams. So I wouldn't be surprised if we pick up an L here. I think Daniel Jones is a lot better than a lot of people realize. And, you know, we do live in Vegas. People do fuck around. People do get drunk. People do party. It's a bye week. That's a reality. And if you don't think the Raiders party and people party, you know, they're young people. They're young kids just like anyone. Josh Jacobs had the DUI. I don't want to hate on that. You know, I've almost had a DUI too. But I think, okay, I'm going to give a trap game. There's one trap game. And I think the Giants game is the biggest trap game. Saquon's amazing. Receiving core is getting better. You got Galladay in there, who I love a lot. They got a lot of weapons offensively. And they didn't do too bad last year offensively, despite having a lot of injuries. So Giants, I think, are a sleeper team. I would take them over the Eagles. I would take them over the Bears even right now. So I'm gonna give that L there. And Neek is saying, yes, the Giants have a sneaky good defense, and we haven't played well at MetLife. That is true. We are having to travel, and that's going to be tough. But this loss could give us a reality check. Because, see, here's what I have. We win 6 in a row. We get a little in our head. The media is hyping us. We only lost to Baltimore, but who doesn't lose to Baltimore sometimes? So, you know, we're 6-1. We're hyped up after the bye. We get a little quick loss. Now we're 6-2 against the Giants. After the Giants, we're heading into the Chiefs game in Vegas. Now, I have Merrick making his first interception in the Ravens game. Bank that. I like the way you're thinking, Bill T. I'm with that too. I hope that happens. Now, guys, please subscribe to this channel if you haven't. I'm trying to boost this up. I'm almost to 1K. Trying to have some posts. Trying to do more, market more. But I'm only allowed to if I boost this channel up. If I get more subs. So against the Chiefs, dude, I think we have the Chiefs number, man. They looked scared against us several times last year. And I think in Vegas with the crowd, you better believe we're going to pick up that dub at nighttime, prime time game. And I think we pick up that dub. Do I think we sweep the Chiefs this year? No. Do I think their offensive line has gotten better? Yes. Do I think we were able to have a really good pass rush on them week 4? Basically by containing them, by doing coverage sacks. I think we'll be able to do that a lot better this upcoming year. And I think, yes, their offensive line has gotten better, but it's a lot of old people. I'm not on the long hype train. This dude's freaking old. I don't think he's going to kill us. I don't think he's going to kill anyone. He might even get injured quick, to be quite honest. So I'm not scared of the Chiefs. Now, do I think we sweep the Chiefs? No, I don't think we sweep the Chiefs this year. So I'm going to give us a 1 at home. And then against the Bengals, I already talked about that a little earlier. They're a scary team to me. I like a lot of picks that they've made, but you know, I would worry about the Bengals. You know, however, you know, Burrow, I think by this time, actually week 11, he is a little healthier, and so he could you know, surprise us and screw us up. However, we're just a more veteran team. They're a younger team on the come up. They remind me of like the Dolphins a few years ago. Yes, they'll beat some really good teams, but they remind us of us a few years ago. Yes, they'll beat some good teams, but they're not going to like regularly beat good teams, right? They will have some good victories this year, but I'm not counting it on it being against the Raiders. However, in Dallas, I might actually go to this game because I have family in Texas. I'm going to be there most likely. So hopefully we win, man. I don't like Cowboys fans. They're hell obnoxious. I do hope Gruden gets revenge on Amari Cooper. However, oh man, their defense, they've revamped their linebacking core, so they still have depth there too. Because they've revamped them, they still have people under contract. Van Der Esch is still going to be in the background. And they got a good offense, man. And if Dak's healthy and Dak's at 100%, he was killing it last year before he got injured. They still have a ton of weapons. CeeDee Lamb, Amari Cooper. It's going to be difficult. You're at home. So let's just give him an L. So we're right now, where are we at? We're at 6-2, 7-2, 8-2. Now I have us at 8-3 right now, right? 8-3. Heading into Washington. Washington is good. Fitzmagic is pretty good. And I know a lot of people are probably, you're not liking that I'm giving L's, but hey, I gave us a 6-game win streak, and I'm trying to be realistic. And this is too early, so this is not going to be as realistic as it could ever be. But I'm trying to realistically think, hey, can we lose against the Cowboys? Yeah, we're going to lose against the Cowboys. Now, heading into work, we got we got 6 more games left. So let me go to some comments before I go into these 6 more games. TDS Lee, no way we lose the home opener on Monday night. I hope, man. Let me know what you guys think about my schedules. Where do you think I'm wrong here? Where do you think we might end up going? Another thing that I was talking about earlier, are the Raiders tickets too damn expensive? Are you going to pay $1,000 or even $1,000 to go to a game and fuck over your family? You can't afford college for your kids anymore because you're going to this Raiders game. We can't be having that go on. Come on, Raider Nation, lower the prices. And by the way, I'm at 850 subs. Help me get to 1K, man. Freaking boost me up. Subscribe if you haven't. Like this, man. Let's try to get this channel going. I love doing this. Want to do it some more. So let me know what you all think. Go into some more comments real quick too. Got Raid the Tape. Really good breakdowns. Check that guy out. What's up, man? WW WiFiWillie. Love the acronym, man. I got to have you come on here if you ever want to, too, man. That'd be awesome. Bill T. KC, without a doubt, is coming for blood after the horrible showing in the Super Bowl. I hate to say this, but I have us going 0-2 against KC. It will show our team that we are not quite over the hill yet. And it's very possible we go 0-2 against KC. And even when we beat them by 8 points, there is still like a sliver of possibility that they could come back in that game. And I know I was celebrating a little early when we were winning that game, especially after the Jeff Heath interception. I think I went shirtless at that point. But yeah, there was still a chance. And I got a little nervous where I was like, man, I don't want to blow the load too early, forgive my language, but that's what I meant. And fuck, man, it was scary. And so it could happen. However, man, no other team matched up well against the Chiefs like the Raiders. And Mahomes looks scared. Yeah, he's got a better offensive line. But what I really think is the problem, and if you watch Mahomes' press conference when he lost to the Raiders in week 4, the problem with them is that they rely too much on his improvisation, and their design plays aren't open immediately. And when they're not, they're fucked. So Kelsey, he's going to keep getting older, keep regressing. Same thing with, Hill, I think is still going to be dynamic, still going to be the best receiver in the league. Do I think their offensive line is just totally better now? No, I don't. And I don't think so. I don't think Long's going to be that great. I think they made some little overrated moves. Orlando Brown had great coaching with the Ravens. That's why he excelled. So I'm not scared. Our defensive line has gotten better. And even in coverage, we did well against them last year with, a really bad defense. Gunther was able to get some stops against the Chiefs last year. Bradley's going to be able to do it. So I'm not too scared. And, motivation, we're motivated. If any team's more motivated after a horrible showing, it's the Raiders for choking 2 years in a row and missing the playoffs. So I think we're motivated more than ever, more than the Chiefs, because we have to win. We have to make the playoffs this year, or financially, these tickets aren't going to be able to be that expensive anymore. Fans are going to get pissed. I'm going to be pissed. It's going to be really gloomy and demotivating and demoralizing if this team does not make the playoffs. Raid the Tape. Too expensive. I agree, man. Just subbed and liked. Thanks, man. Keep the content coming. KC is going to have a down year like all teams who get blown out in the Super Bowl. That's, that could happen. I hope so. And you have to think Mahomes' contract gets more expensive in 2022. So this is KC's last chance to have like a cheap Mahomes type year. So there's going to be added pressure too. All right. And then the thing is, Tyreek Hill did not restructure his contract. So even though he could have helped him out and cleared more cap, he wants the money. So best believe they're going to have to pay Tyreek Hill a lot of money over the upcoming years. Now, against Washington, I think this is also a trap game. Fitz Magic had his way with us last year, and I have to give us more L's, to be honest. And they have an amazing pass rush. Can our offensive line hold against them? I don't know. Del Rio is also their defensive coordinator. He knows a thing or two about our quarterback, Derek Carr, right? What I mean, come on. He coached him for 3 years. He's got to know some things about him. So I think it might be tough for the Raiders offense. Do I think the Raiders defense could hold Fitzmagic, Terry McLaurin, and crew? I don't know, man. So I'm going to give us an L. I think this could be a trap game. You got 2 losses in a row, but thankfully they're against the NFC, 2 playoff teams in the NFC. So it doesn't affect us too much when it comes to playoffs in the AFC. And we're going against the Chiefs at home. Now, just out of, I mean, I want us to sweep the Chiefs, and we're talking about this, TD Sly is saying that, he thinks they're going to have a down year. What's up, Gustavo Geary? How's it going? Bill T, I'm thinking this year is more of an uphill battle to show we are on the come up. I have us at least pushing a wild card spot. That's true. But coming up short, I hope if we come up short again, man, somebody is getting fired. Somebody has to get fired and I don't think Gruden, because he's really powerful. I think maybe even switch up the offensive coordinator. You get rid of people, maybe like Abram. You move on from these draft picks, like Abram in the future, because this is their second to last year. Farrell, Abram, second to last year to prove themselves. So there's definitely going to be a shuffle if we don't go all the way. 17-0. Washington has a very suspect quarterback. I don't think so. I think Fitzmagic put us away last year. Very aggressive. He has a lot of weapons too. I think he has more weapons in Washington than he did in Miami. So be scared. Be scared of that game. To be honest, take it really seriously. Yeah, it's cliche to say next year is our year, but I have a feeling that we're on the way. Yeah, I hope we're on the way too. But I'm gonna give us an L right now against the Chiefs just to make it 1-for-1. I can't make this and honestly be like, we're going to sweep the Chiefs prediction and say it's a real prediction. So right now we're going into week 15. We have we were 8-3. Now we're 8-5. We're 8-5. Let me make sure I have that correct. Yes, we're 8-5 going into week 15. We had a 6-game win streak. People think, are the Raiders going to choke again and miss the playoffs at 8-5? Yes, they beat teams like the Chiefs. They beat the Steelers. They beat the Dolphins. They beat the Bears, but they come up short against some playoff teams like the Cowboys and Washington. Yes, they went 1-for-1 with the Chiefs. This is a tough schedule. This is tougher than a lot of teams. However, I think last year was a little tougher than this schedule this year because you got some easy teams this year. The Eagles, I think, are a little easier than what we had to face last year than a team like the Bills. Same thing with Steelers. I think they're a little easier than a team like the Bills. I'm more happy that we're not playing too much AFC East besides the Dolphins. If there's one team I'd play, in that division, it would be the Dolphins. I didn't want to play. But against the Browns, we beat them last time, and second year Kevin Stefanski. I mean, I want to give us a W here, but to be completely honest, unless there's some injuries, and there could be some injuries going on. Now, do I think the Raiders have more depth than the Browns? Yes, actually, because when Myles Garrett isn't there, the Browns are kind of in a tough position, and we've seen that happen to them. OBJ, is he going to be healthy? Is he going to be around? Landry, is that enough for them? Yes, they got a good running back duo. They got a good offensive line. Baker Mayfield is a good, he can handle his games. He will make some mistakes here and there, but he can handle his games. And, this is tough. Do I think their secondary is better than ours? Honestly, right now, yeah. Do I think our secondary gets better throughout the year and we are more ready than ever in week 15, more experience? And do I think there's some motivating factor at this point? We're 8-5 at this point, and we're thinking, are we going to really like fuck this up again? Hopefully it's one of those cold games again where it's shitty weather and then we like tough it out with our experimental game planning like last year. So I'm going to go ahead and give us a W. I just think Gruden's a better coach. I think there's going to be injuries. I think there's going to be weather problems. And just like last year, I think we can come away with a W against the Browns. This is in December. Now, if this was earlier in the year and it wasn't in Cleveland, I would probably give it to Cleveland. But Gruden could adapt, man. He's got a lot of experience, a lot more than the Browns head coach. So I'm going to give us a W right there. And then, wow, it gets quite easy. I mean, we're playing Drew Lock again. If it's Rodgers, yes, this becomes a much tougher schedule. But for right now, we're playing Drew Lock again. We've had our way with the Broncos. We've swept them over the past few years. So let's give ourselves a W against the Broncos. Now, let me go to some comments before I hit these next two games. Let's see when Fitzpatrick has to do it a whole season. We have seen that play out before. It never ends well. That's true. There's a reason why he hasn't been a starting QB for some teams in a long time. And you would think people would invest in him even if he does well. But am I more scared of Tua, and the Dolphins, or am I more scared of Fitzpatrick, with McLaurin and company? I'm more scared of that. And Logan Thomas is great too. So football team, watch out. And they went to the playoffs last year. I mean, it's not like they're a bad team, and defense was their strength. So they have only gotten better on offense and still have that good defense. Second half collapse again. Let's hope not. Browns game will be a dogfight. Greg Olsen is only offensive coordinator in name. That is true. Fitzpatrick is about to be the first 40-40 club quarterback. Shitty weather, windy the whole nine. Talking about Cleveland, 4 L's in a row. Yeah, and I think this is totally possible. I mean, we could lose to the Browns and get 4 L's in a row. These are the toughest part of our schedule. Cowboys, football team, Chiefs, and Browns. That's a really tough schedule. And before that, you have an up-and-coming Bengals team. So no doubt that this is a tough schedule. This can go either way. I'm trying to give us some realistic L's. I don't, even the Chargers, and the Colts, this is kind of tough because, we lost to both of these teams last year. And both of these teams think they've gotten better too. It's not just us who have gotten better. They think that they have gotten better. The Colts have Carson Wentz now. Is he better than Phillip Rivers? In my opinion, no. I'm going to say no. I think Phillip Rivers is pretty accurate, a really, really good game manager against us last year. And Carson Wentz has a lot of throws that are just errant. He throws balls that are easily picked. And you can't blame his receivers in a lot of them. And there's been statistics that have shown this. He throws balls that are even dropped interceptions. He could have more picks than he has. So Carson Wentz not safe with the football. Don't like him more than Rivers. Yes, this is a good Colts team, good defensive line. We know Buckner, but I think the Raiders, and even last year, Jonathan Taylor was why they won that game. Like, he carved up our defense in the run, and there was just some botched big run plays. So if we eliminate those big play mistakes, which I think we will under Bradley, we can go toe to toe for them because we were moving the ball against them. Yes, there are some fumbles here and there. Yes, there are some picks, but we had a real shot even last year when, in my opinion, I thought that they were a better team. So I'm going to go ahead and say, all right, we get the W against the Colts. Jacobs is going to be the best RB duo in the NFL. Book it. Hopefully, I hope that's true. But it's going to take the offensive line. I mean, if the offensive line can't move like they couldn't last year against the run, especially when people started getting banged up, then they're not going to be the best run duo in the NFL. You need a really good offense line. Tom Cable, I really like him. He gave Sam Young his highest PFF grade in his career, and he's had a 13-year career. And just with being with the Raiders for one season, he had his highest PFF grade. So our O-line coach could coach. So hopefully we can move the ball in this way. Now, I want to know what you guys think. Where did I get this wrong? where are we going to win? Share your comments and thoughts. You guys think one of these are taking an L somewhere? Are we taking an L against the Browns? I want to know what you guys think, but Chargers, to be quite honest, we went 1-for-1 with the Chargers last year. Yes, they have a good QB. Yes, they have a pretty decent defense. They have at least people there, star players there. Cornerback room, even though they think they've upgraded, I think they've actually declined, losing some key veterans. And even even just their receivers, they have a better receiving core than the Raiders right now. Like, at least on paper, they do. So you can't just say, oh, we're going to automatically sweep the Chargers just because we've done it before. It's not a given. So yes, right now I have us, let's see, we got 3. So we're 6-3. And then we lose 2 more games. So we're 6-5. Oh wait, 2-4. I can't count. Okay. 3, 6. So we're 6-2, 8-3. Then I have us going 8-5, pick up a W against Cleveland. We're 9-5. Then I have us beating Denver. I was saying 10-5. Then I have us beating the Colts. So we're 11-5 right here. So this is already our best record since 2016. So this is already too optimistic. A lot of people would say this is too optimistic. Yeah. I mean, so let me know what you think. I want to know if you guys think I'm wrong. I have us at 11-5 right here, entering the last game of the season. 3-4. Yeah, 11-5, right? 3. Really early for me. 3, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Yeah, 11-5 here. By the way, let's boost this. I got 850 subs. Trying to boost this up to 1K. Like this video if you haven't already. Trying to get this going more. This channel going. Build it up, man. Trying to make posts, do super chats, have more control, be pushed up in the recommendations. When you got over 1K subs and you monetize, you get pushed up in the recommendations. So I'm trying to get recommended, man. Recommend me by liking this video and subbing to my channel. Really appreciate it, man. We got film breakdowns. I got a film breakdown of Abram I just put out. So check that out if you haven't already. All right. Dick Fattel, Chargers are always paper giants. I think they will be a mess. I mean, to be honest, they had a bad coach last year who made a lot of horribly poor decisions that led to them losing key games. And so in their view, if you're a Chargers fan, you look at this game and you say, well, hey, the Raiders think, hey, they had some close games. We had a lot of close games too. I mean, think about it. The Chargers could have went sweep the Raiders last year if it wasn't for the Isaiah Johnson incompletion on the final play of the game. If it wasn't for that incompletion, or if the ref just screwed us over and didn't overturn it, right, we would have lost that game and the Chargers would have sweeped us last year. So that's how it's coming from their perspective. They think, hey, we had a shitty coach. We didn't like our coach. We have a good rising QB. We almost beat a lot of good teams last year. We almost beat the Bucks. We almost beat the Raiders. We almost sweep the Raiders. And we almost beat the Chiefs too. Herbert's first game when he surprised everybody and came out because of Tyrod Taylor punctured lung or whatever, they almost beat the Chiefs that game. So in their view, they think they're a really good team. So I'm going to give us an L, even though this is in Vegas. I gave us more home field advantage in LA than in Vegas here. I think it's the last game of the year in Vegas, so you will get a lot of tourism. And I think we go one, and I think there's a chance we go 1-1 with the Chargers. Now, yes, we could easily sweep the Chargers. We could easily sweep the Chiefs. I could see that happening. But we could also get sweep too, just like last year. It's very close games in the NFL. And I'm already at 11-5 here. And this is already too optimistic. Now, we know we get extra games because of the, that's why we have extra games here, right? Because of the extra games that the NFL is giving us. Now, here we go. That's why we got Younger on the O-line so we could run block. Everyone is praying the Chargers in. I don't understand why. I don't know what you mean. who plays tight end for the Chargers. Yes, and Hunter Henry did do a great job against us last year, but he was injured. And hey, they think they have a plan. They have a plan that is an upgrade over Hunter Henry, even though, yes, it's not a well-known player, but in their point of view, they're going to be healthier at the tight end position. Johnny Storm Beats, keep pushing, bro. Floor record, ceiling record. I know this is your realistic prediction. Now the floor record is that we go 7-10. I don't see us getting worse than last year as far as record. A 7-10 is technically worse than last year, but the extra game is why. I think that's our floor. Just because a lot of these games are close. Now I have us losing 5 games right now. And where's 5 more that we could lose? We could lose against the Steelers. We could lose against the Dolphins. We could lose against the Chiefs. We could lose against the Bears. You know, we could lose against the Browns. And there you go. There's your 7-10 floor right there. Now, couple things that we could do to have a ceiling. Now, I would say a ceiling could be about a 13-4 record. So basically, I would take out one of these games. So I'd give us a win against the Chargers, and I would say, hey, we get a W against either football team or the Chiefs, you know, or the Cowboys, or maybe we beat the Ravens in the home opener. And that's a ceiling. But, you know, we are going to lose some games. You're not going to be a completely healthy team. Things happen in this league, and you can't always predict it. So you know, it's just the way it goes, man. All right, so let me just cap this off, just so we give my final thing. I mean, I'm sorry. I got to give us an L. This is my realistic prediction. I am going to write what it is right here, but let me know your guys' realistic predictions in the chat. So I have us going 12-5 to have our best record since 2016. That's what I have us going right now. Oh, shit. Okay, I messed that up. So let's just Control Z. Okay. But that's what I have. Let me know what you guys think. What do you guys realistically think is going to happen? And then I'll just get this up here just so we have it stored and ready. Right. So I have us going 12-5. Is that too optimistic? I mean, that is pretty optimistic. Lose against the Ravens, go on a 6-game win streak against Steelers, Miami, division rivals, easiest teams in our division, and some NFC teams that are in a kind of a rebuild mode, you know, getting started. Remind me of us in 2019. So get us some wins there, get trapped by the Giants, still beat the Chiefs because, you know, we get pissed off about that trap game. Take on the Bengals. They remind me of the Eagles and the Bears, a team on the come up, not quite ready to compete. Then we go ahead and lose to these playoff teams in the NFC, go 1-1 with the Chiefs, pick up a surprise dub in shitty weather conditions in Cleveland, and go ahead and sweep the Broncos because they don't have Aaron Rodgers in this prediction. And we go ahead and beat the Colts because they have a Carson Wentz, who I think is a question mark at quarterback. And we go 1-1 with the Chargers just because, hey, we almost got swept by them last year. Both teams believe they have gotten better. So we're 12-5. Let me know what you think about that prediction. I know some people don't entirely agree. I know some people maybe think that I'm being too optimistic. Maybe some people think that I'm not being optimistic enough. Who knows? Let me know what you all think. I think this is pretty accurate. 12-5. I could see it switching to 11-6 pretty easily. But I think we will win a good amount of these games. But I could also see, like I said, the floor. I could see us going 7-10. What if Unique gets hurt? You know, then what's going to happen? You know, Carr could always get hurt, right? And you could always lose a key player like Jacobs too. You know, he can get a little banged up. So you never know what could happen in this league. A corner, I think, would be a devastating loss for us. Something like Casey Hayward or Merring that could really set the team back significantly. All right, so let's see what you all think. I want to hear what you have to say. We can keep talking some more. Got a few more minutes on this live. We could play well and go 8 or 9 or 9-8 with this beast of a schedule. That's true. This is a hard schedule for anybody. Every AFC West game is a toss-up, dogfight. Yeah, that's true. Not with Denver though. Denver's been kind of like the joke of the AFC West in recent time. By the way, guys, please subscribe to me if you haven't. I got this ticker down, got film breakdowns, always keeping up with news and stuff. Let me know what you think. 10-7, that's a little less optimistic than me, but I could see us losing a few games here, right? You're basically taking away 2 games, saying we don't beat the Chiefs and maybe lose to Miami or the Steelers. I could see that happening. Johnny Storm beats DC MVP season. I hope so, man. I mean, I hope he can get back to 2016 form. I think what it would take is extending more plays, and it takes our receivers stepping up. We don't have as good of a receiving core as a lot of teams. There's not really that person who he could throw a jump ball to like he's had in the past. Besides Waller, you don't have a Jared Cook, you don't have a Cooper, you don't have a Crabtree where he could throw these jump balls. That's his favorite ball to throw. We need somebody to step up. Hopefully Brian Edwards can do it. 11-6. Okay. Almost close to me. You're saying that we lose. Maybe we get swept by the Chiefs. Maybe we actually get swept by the Chargers, or maybe a little loss against the Steelers. That could happen. Okay, I honestly think we have the most depth all around than we've had in years. You're right. I think on the offensive line, we actually have more depth than people think. Not at the tackle position, because we're still relying on Brandon Parker to be our main backup. But as far as guard, we have depth. As far as center, we have depth. Interior defensive line, tons of depth. Obviously on the edge, we have the most depth that we've had probably in the past 10 years. And the running back room is probably the best running back room we've had in the past 20 years. Probably since McFadden. I would say, okay, best running back room in the past 12 years, because McFadden and Michael Bush, I would say that was close to how good of a running back room this is. I'm talking about McFadden and Michael Bush in their prime. And you even had Justin Fargas there a little bit too. So that's a really good running back room. We're close to that. So best running back room in over a decade. Very true. Receivers, though, not good depth in my opinion. I'm worried about the secondary. I think there's too much relying on Arnett, too much relying on Merring. Hopefully they come through. Fade to Black. Hey, man, what's up? Great content. I said we go 10-7. Not sure if that'll be enough for the playoffs, though. So with the extended playoff spot, I think it is enough. I think if you win 10 games, you're still in it. However, everybody gets an extra game. So what it was last year is if you win 9 games, you're still kind of in it. So I would say 10 games is how we get in it with that added playoff spot. So right, I think that's still good enough. DC season, let's go. Edwards, I hope Edwards shows up, man. I hope he like doesn't get an injury again. He looked explosive. He looked like he could run after the catch too. He's not just like a possession receiver type. First game is a Monday night game, then going to Pittsburgh on a short week with traveling. That's tough. That's why I gave him the loss week 1 against the Ravens. And I'm saying coming off that loss, some motivation to beat Steelers. And I think Big Ben, I think his stock is going down. I think the Steelers are upset they had that contract with him. I think if they could get out of it, they would, but they can't. I think they would prefer he retires and not charge him any dead money. So, yeah, I'm not too high on the Steelers. Juju Smith-Schuster, like I was mentioning earlier, didn't do well in the free agent market. And even though he said he went to the Steelers on a team-friendly deal for $5 million, trust me, this guy tested the market. Everybody's trying to get paid. Come on, let's get real. And it seems like nobody wanted to pay him. I think we'll beat the Ravens. First game with fans. We're going to be amped. But is it really going to be fans? So here's my thing. Is it going to be fans, or is it going to be a bunch of rich people? It might not be a lot of fans, because you have you got freaking, let me show you. Yeah, you got like $800 ticket seats. So I don't know about that. Best RB group since Gardner Wheatley. Hey, I'm going to give credit to Michael Bush, Darren McFadden, and Justin Fargas. That's a good running back room. And then I think even for a little bit, you had Marcel Reese in there. So, I mean, that's a good room. So you can't discount 2008, 2009, 2010, I think, running back room. That's a pretty good era. So best RB room in over a decade, but I don't know about Gardner and Wheatley. I mean, I'm not going to discount. Let them play first, right? Hopefully we surpass that. So let Drake play, let Jacobs play, let Ingold play. We'll see if they can top the McFadden, the Marcel Reese, the Michael Bush crew, because that's a good crew, dude. Okay. A couple more comments, guys. Leave your comments. I'm feeding off of these. I haven't ate yet today. I want to hear what you think about my prediction, 12-5. Let me know if you think these tickets are too damn expensive. And by the way, dude, boost me up. I'm trying to boost this channel, and I don't want to be like a whore for subs, but I kind of am at this point. All right, so and I, there's nothing wrong with being a whore. I mean, I'm sexual libertine. That's fine with me. Express your sexuality. Do that. There's nothing wrong with that. And I have a question for you because I have a film breakdown that I did recently on Jonathan Abram, and honestly, I don't think he looked too hot in coverage. Hopefully, he's in the box more. Not having to do the deep safety coverage like I showed in that video. And when you look at it, I mean, when he's in man coverage, he looks confused. Even in the box, sometimes he struggles. Like what you have to do in the cover three when you're playing in the box and when you're playing linebacker is be conscious of these drag routes, these deeper drag routes that go a little bit above the box safety and the linebacker. And he struggled there a lot of times. So check out my film breakdown on Jonathan Abram. Let me know, do you think he's going to start at the end of the year? I mean, we drafted 2 safeties, signed 1 free agent. That's pretty big, man. We drafted also a former safety and converted him to linebacker. And then also Tanner Muse last year in the 3rd round. So a lot of competition in that box safety position. Let me know what you all think about that. 11-6 for sure, bro. Okay. That's true. I think we're talking about the running back room there. And you need to connect with Doc's Raider Honcho, Simone Raider Company. I think you can provide good info with your opinions. Sure, if they'd have me on, I'd love to be on. I haven't been in contact with them. I don't know them, but that would be fun. Anybody who has a live stream, any Raider channel, I'm totally down to go on. I like doing things on my channel too, but I'm always down to go and talk about the Raiders with people. Hopefully that was because of Gunther. Look, here's the thing. We need to pump the brakes on the Gus Bradley hype. I mean, I want to believe that the Raiders are going to go from 32nd to, the 5th best defense, but that's not going to happen. They might not even go to the 15th best defense. Bradley, after being a few years with his squad in Los Angeles, he only had the Chargers as like the 16th best defense, and they were about like 25th in points allowed. So even though he had his squad that he drafted for a while, it's not like he had the best defense in the NFL. Now, are they a competent defense? Are they an average defense? Yes. Is the average defense a lot better than what we had last year? Yes, that is true. But I don't think we're going 32nd to 15th. I think if you're being more realistic, we're going 32nd to 25th best defense just in one offseason, one COVID offseason. So I would pump the brakes on that. I don't think all of our problems on defense are going to be erased due to running the cover 3 and the cover 1. I think players are still going to struggle. And I think personnel struggled last year. Littleton, you can't blame everything on Gunther for Littleton. There were times where he just didn't match up well in coverage, missed some tackles, missed and got faked out about where the running gap was. And you can't really blame it all on Gunther. Abram, you can't blame it all on Gunther. I do believe, yes, they are out of position. I hate that Gunther runs the cover 2. I don't like that play. But at the same time, sometimes when it's man coverage or sometimes when someone's in your zone and you get beat, that's just kind of on you, So hopefully these problems are erased. Hopefully they just get better from being in the league because we have a young defense. But don't expect all these problems to go away just because you switched the coach and got Unique Ngakoue. Okay, Raider fans come in all shapes and sizes, all walks of life. There will be plenty of Raider fans in Vegas. That is true. However, a lot of rich people, man, are going to just buy tickets and probably just chill. It's a tourist attraction. Granted, Sundays for tourism, that doesn't happen that much because people have to go to work on Monday. So I'm hoping, especially Monday night games, I don't think there's going to be a lot of tourists there, but it's the first Monday night game in the NFL with Lamar. And, Vegas has people from a lot of transplants live in Vegas. A lot of transplants live in LA too, who could easily get to Vegas for a game. So, and especially in the Valley too. So you do have to worry about that. I worry about the ticket prices because what I love so much about just being in the Coliseum and going to several games in 2019 2018, and even before then. I lived in the Bay Area for about 12 years, from the Valley originally. But just such a lot of enthusiasm, and regular working class people going to these games who are really enthusiastic about the game. It was very rare, and I've had this in other situations where you sit next to somebody who's not a Raiders fan. I've had that before at a few games, and it's really weird. They're just kind of coming to spy and see what's going on, or they just want to go to a football game. I've even seen some fans who don't even watch football at the game. But at the Raider games, for the most part, at the Coliseum, it was all hardcore Raider fans, super drunk, sneaking in your booze. They barely check you. It was great. And I don't think that's going to continue too much in Vegas. I mean, I think it's going to be fun. It's going to be hyped, but it's going to be a little more posh, a little more professional. And I'm hoping it's not, but based on the prices, things are going to change. Things will change. My hair is fucked up. I should have fucking did my hair before I did this shit. All right. I'm scared that we won't have a big home field advantage. I'm scared too, but even if we don't have a big home field advantage, it's going to be better than last year. And we sucked at home last year. You heard Mayock bring that up. And we need something, right? I think we had a big impact in that Chargers game. I was at that Thursday night Chargers game in 2019 when Rivers threw several picks to Eric Harris. Dude, it was so lit. It was so live. Like, I was hammered. I lost my voice probably even before the first quarter. like it was so crazy. My girlfriend was there. She was into it too. I mean, she's a Raiders fan. She got a little drunked up too. We were like, when picks would happen, I remember just hugging everybody. And it was just hyped up, man. Right before the game, Farrell and Crosby went to the crowd and hyped everybody up too. It was insane. And I think we won that game. It was a close game because of the fans. So I still think some fans are going to have an impact, and especially Raider fans, man. Fade to black tickets are expensive. That's true. TD Sly, Gunther was absolutely horrible. I've never seen a more confused defense. That is true. Very confused. It partly was the scheme. I think he was trying to get too complicated. I don't like the whole defensive ending coverage. We've talked about this on this channel. Hopefully we improve. Hope the prices fall. That's just not a realistic pay for prices at the price on top of a hotel and a flight too. You have to think of a flight. Most people will have to fly. Even if you're in California, like, are you really going to drive 8 hours, each way? That's kind of hard to do. Then you're going to be too tired to go to the game. And now you got flights coming from California to Vegas that are not too expensive. It's about close to $100 round trip for going that far. So I do worry about that. I think the prices will go down. I think they're trying to recoup their losses. I think mid-season, you're going to see a big dive in prices. And we all know that the day of the game, if you want to, gamble, you could find a price that sinks really low. I mean, I once watched a Raider game for $60 against the Steelers. So it could happen. And I definitely hope it happens for sure. It'll be full of rich people looking down at their phones like the ones in the front row of Canelo fight. Oh, I really hope that's not the case. And you know what I hope though? I hope rich people go and pay for the first few games and have a bad time because they're not football fans. And I hope they're like, oh, well, this isn't for me. And then they leave, right? And they don't come to future games and the prices sink down. I think the prices are inflated because they're trying to recoup their loss due to COVID. They gave a discount to the season ticket holders, and the season ticket holders, a lot of those people make money off tickets. Some of them don't even go to games. Just to be honest, that's how it works. I mean, you get tickets off sites like StubHub. Most fans do. So I think hopefully they're trying to recoup their loss too. And then once they fail to do that, price sinks down. Ricky 7 not going to be the same in Vegas. I think that's true. I think we can't just sit here and act like, oh, it's going to be the same atmosphere. We're going to still have the black hole and all this stuff. It's probably not going to be the same. I think hopefully it shakes out after a few games though. By the way, please like and subscribe this if you have not already. I have only gained 2 subscribers. I was at 850 at the beginning of this video, and I've only gained 2 throughout it. And I'm trying to boost up. So I do have to market myself. I do have to encourage you to please subscribe. Check out WiFiWillie's other content. Push that like button if you haven't already. Make a comment too. Let me hear your thoughts and everything, but really try to support this channel as much as you can, man. I really appreciate it. Okay. Moving to Vegas reminds me of the Warriors moving to SF. Ticket prices and the fan base is different. It's more corporate, and that is true. But we need more money. So part of the reason why we can't sign big name players is because we just don't have the on-hand cash to do that. Khalil Mack thing was more of a Mark Davis move, saying, hey, I don't want to pay this guy this much guaranteed money, a big bonus right now. So we do need more money as a franchise. We need to become a wealthier franchise, something like the Cowboys, where they could sign big contracts, no biggie, because they can give these, these freaking bonuses. I just got a 58 4K TV for $350. I will get a larger one later. This is my first 4K TV. Yeah, 4K is good. You could always watch the game on TV and it's fine. And people, isn't the current prices resale aftermarket prices? That is true. But I think they're inflating the current prices are all resale. But the people who are reselling them, yes, they're season ticket holders, and they always resell their tickets and make money off this. So what they're trying to do is just have it be, it's just like on eBay. You set your price super high, hope somebody pays for it. And if not, then whatever, you're going to set them lower later. And we know that the day of the game, ticket prices drop tremendously. That's a risk for a lot of people who don't live nearby. I was fortunate to live in Oakland for a long time, and I definitely got some cheap tickets that way. I'll be watching the game at home. Yeah, me too. Willie, are you thinking of taking trips to Las Vegas? Yes, I will definitely be taking trips to Las Vegas. I might even go over the summer. I might even go to a few preseason games just to check out the stadium. I don't live far from Vegas. It's a cheap flight for me. It's about $70 round trip for me, luckily. So I will be going there. Say hi if you see me there. Don't mind saying hi to people. Love hanging out with Raider fans. And as far as these like expensive games, I'm not going to the Ravens game. That's for damn sure. I'm not going to that game. Do I want to go to the Chiefs game? Yes. Do I think it'll be really expensive? Yes. I might opt for going to the LA game with the Chargers. And I also will probably go to the Eagles game and like a couple of games that are against teams that aren't too hot, because I think we'll have a better shot at some cheaper tickets there. Let me know what you guys think, though. What do you guys think our record's going to be this year? We're talking about this earlier. I said 12 in 5. Very optimistic. I want to know what you all think. I'm very intrigued. Who will we lose? Will we sweep the Chiefs? Or are we going 1-for-1? Or will they sweep us? Are the Chargers going to go 1-for-1 with us again? Or could they sweep us? I want to know what you think. I'm glad I got to experience a game in Oakland years ago. Me too, man. Love the fact that it's pretty easy to sneak in booze in Forest Stadium. Beer prices weren't too crazy. Still pretty bad. Like I paid like $10 for a tall can, but whatever. LA tickets aren't that bad. That's true. Bengals game looks to have the cheapest tickets. Yeah, that's going to be a cheap game. So hopefully they don't do too well, the Bengals. That way that game will probably go up in price, But I think Eagles will be a cheaper game. We're looking at it. Dolphins, they're a popular team, but a lot of fans don't really know. Like, most casual fans who aren't like super in it like us, who like, we're following NFL all the time, right? Like we're considered raving NFL fans. Some people are just regular fans. Like they got families and shit, and they might not be too high on the Dolphin games. And they might think, hey, it's the Dolphins. They might not be aware that they're like a super up and coming team just because they're not hella glued to the NFL like we are. So you could have a situation where that game ends up being cheap. Denver could be a cheap game, although Denver's a popular team. I would say 2 against Washington football team. That could end up being a cheaper game, depending on their record. And Bears is not going to be a cheap game, though. It's a very popular team, even if they're not doing as well, especially when you got Justin Fields. I'm going 10-7. I think the defense improves, but everyone else got better. Can't forget that. That's true. Everyone else has gotten better. You can't just act like we're the only team getting better. So we got to be scared of the Chargers. We got to worry about it, worry about it. Do we play the 49ers preseason? Yes. I am not going to Santa Clara, though. I've never been there. I used to live in the Bay Area. I'm kind of over the Bay Area. I don't like going there. It's a headache. It's not worth the stress for me. Driving there sucks. Public transportation sucks. Uber sucks. The food sucks. I have a very nasty opinion of the Bay Area, I guess. I mean, I like the people. I like the weather. Um, I like the fun events there and stuff like that, but it's lost its charm for me. I'm not going to lie. So I'm not going to be going there. And those games, people get too drunk and there's fights, dude. I'm not there for the bullshit. Like, I'm not there to get into fights with Niner fans. I don't really want to see that shit. I don't want to have my girlfriend near that shit and be all worried. So I'm not going to no Niner preseason game. If you guys want to go fight, go ahead and go to that game. Preseason tickets, I hope are cheap, man. I mean, when they're in Oakland Coliseum, you can go and get really good seats at a preseason game for $15-20. So hopefully it's, I mean, at least $50. You know what I mean? Like, it's at least that cheap. I wouldn't pay for a preseason. I would go just to chill, especially if I don't think I'm gonna be able to afford like a real game. Like, am I gonna pay $1,000 for a game this year? Probably not. I don't want to do that. I would rather like buy another computer. There's a lot of things I could do with that money, right? Pay rent for a month. So I might end up going to a preseason game this year, even though in 2019, I think I only went to like I went to a couple just because I live like right by there. So it was hell easy for me to go. I hope we whip the Niners. I got a lot of Niner friends, and trust me, I lived in the Bay Area when they won the Super Bowl. That Niner gang bullshit was fucking lame. Hated hearing that shit all the time. So best believe I hope we whip the Niners. Do you know what they did? The Wall of Fame between Oracle and Coliseum, those who bought PSLs in 1995 and bring them back. Yeah, I know they did that before. I mean, that's a cool thing too. Got your permanent landmark there. I personally wouldn't pay for it too much unless I was like part of the org, but a lot of people are into that. And that's cool. Hopefully we have what I'm interested in is like, who's going to light the flame, at the beginning of each game. I think we had Lynch do it once before. Didn't he like put like the blunt inside like the flame or something like that? So hopefully I want to know if we have a lot of celebrities and Hall of Fame players and former players come out and light the flame and do like little speeches and stuff. What was cool in 2019 when I went to the Thursday night game against the Chargers, you had Montel Jordan come and sing the national anthem. So that was lit for me. I like Montel Jordan. Okay. Wish Diablo didn't pick 49. I think that's a cool number. That's isn't that Alawali was the last person to have that number, right? And then we got California Sucks. It's expensive, but there's still some cheap parts. I'm not going to tell you where though. All right. So funny how the Niners rose back out of the shadows with bandwagon fans. Yo, that is true. Like, I saw all these Niner gang shirts and all kinds of shit like that, like right when they started winning, and it was quiet. I did not see Niner fans ever that season. So it was definitely bandwagon time, especially in Santa Clara. They were silent, dude. And then Jimmy G was the truth all of a sudden. And they thought Jimmy G was going to be the greatest QB of all time. And where's he now? Now they freaking want to trade his ass. Okay. I feel like he might change that number 49. Dude, let him keep his number. If that's what he chose, that's what he chose. Raiders own the Chiefs. Yes, I hope so. I hope so too, man. I'm going to peace out of here. I've been on here for over an hour. Make sure to check out my channel though, guys, and please subscribe and like if you haven't already. I really appreciate the support. Let's boost these subs up. Did I gain any more? I know I gained 2 during this live stream. Did I gain more? No, I did not, but you know what? It's fine. Appreciate you guys still coming by and hanging out with me on this live, and hopefully you're there for the next one. Remember, check out my content if you haven't already. I got tons of shit, and I hope to see you all soon. Thanks.
All right, here we go, Tony.